And we're trying to relate this to an Irish audience. This is not just an NFL podcast. It is at the minute because it's the NFL season. I want to talk about college football, local football in the off season, and talk about a range of different things. And I had a conversation with someone quite close to the college football game between Northwestern and Nebraska in August, and talking about what like the next step would be for a local game. I think sometimes when you talk, Mark, to people in Ireland, and I'm talking about fans, you maybe do sometimes get that, and this is not for me to be negative, you do sometimes get that negativity where it's like, oh sure, we'll never have a game. Why would we ever get an NFL game? Well then, like I think it's a possibility, and that's a whole different conversation. But um, if there's the infrastructure there, why can't Dublin have a bowl game in between Christmas and the New Year? It would be unreal for the economy. It would be absolutely mad crack. Could you imagine the crack if it was like I don't know, the Clonakilty Black Pudding Bowl in Dublin between you could literally, any college would bite your hand off to get into a bowl game. It would be perfect. Yeah, surely.
Yeah, I'm not 100% on the setup of how it all works. I know you do want to get into your bowl games, and then there's problems that the big teams get their bowl games because it's
like injuries and stuff, and yeah.
But I suppose why you would like it is you're going to get a powerhouse, and look at what's happening next year. We're getting a powerhouse game with Notre Dame coming over. It's been talked about for 3 or 4 years. You and I behind the scenes are talking to NFL journalists in Tottenham, and they're looking forward to this game. There wasn't that same buzz around Nebraska Northwestern. As fun as the experience was, as fun as the game was, you kind of departed. And look, it'd be smart for college football as well, because you're making fans then. I still get the Nebraska Cornhuskers coming up my Twitter feed because I guess I interacted with them back in the time, and it comes up followed by and then names, a few followers that we have in common. That wasn't obviously there a year ago. So I think it would bring the college game to the next level. I think, look at Peter Skorensky, the left tackle. He's going to go top 10 certainly in the draft this year. I was buzzing to see an NFL player like that. You're thinking, okay, he could be like a big name in years to come. That we don't always get that. I mean, it depends on the game. I know that Boston once upon a time came who they had Julio Jones and oh no, sorry, it wasn't Julio Jones. It was Julio Jones played for one of the Irish teams that came over, and Matt Ryan was with another team that come over. That there is teams that have had NFL stars passed through them, but it's rare that we get Peter Skoronsky or look, maybe I'm going to be tripping over his name there for the next few months, but whatever his name was, at least he was in Ireland. Yeah, well, don't play this one back to me in 5 years' time. He's the best left tackle in the year or in the league. But I do think that that's where a bowl game would come in. Hey, who knows if they're actually going to come and play it. But when we just talking the last segment about the glitz and glamour razzmatazz that goes along with the NFL being in America, when it does come over here, it is nice when you're able to add that extra element to it that kind of was lacking from Northwestern Nebraska, as fun as it was last year.
Michaela, it's a really interesting prospect because at the minute we've also got the whole week 0 thing, and there's a lot of hype around that, regardless of the teams, because people over here, Ireland, the UK, Europe, etc., are excited about the new American football season. So that's a big thing to have. But a bowl game would be awesome because you're going at least a month and a half behind a London game or Munich game or whatever game it is next year, and I can just stay at your gaff. Like, I'm not paying €700 for a hotel, so I'm not bothered about the financial impact of it. But like December, I don't know. Like, why not have a bowl game before New Year's Day? Why not do it? People will go to it. I'll fly over to it. Why not? I'll drive down. I'll drive down. My family right now are hitting me. I will drive down the road to Dublin. But yeah, it's a pretty awesome idea. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Even when Northwestern and Nebraska was on, I was at that game as well. I think we were all at that game. And I went with my friend who has no clue about American football. No clue. Does not know. Probably could not even name a team except for the team maybe I support. And she was buying merchandise. And she, like, it's even like a business opportunity wise, it's there because people are like, if someone who doesn't even like sports is buying a Northwestern cap, it's just there for the experience and stuff like that. And I definitely think okay, England and London have got their games. Germany definitely deserved a game, because when I was in London before the Germany games happened, the amount of German people was there, I didn't realize that Germany people really like the NFL. And I even met a guy at like a rugby game, and he said he used to play like defensive end in Germany or something like that. So, but I think Ireland will be the next spot for an NFL game. It has to be. Like, we're the closest to America in Europe. A lot of American companies are here, and we obviously have that very special connection with America. Obviously, we had a lot of people leave because of the famine. There's a lot of Irish connections, the Steelers and the Roonies and stuff like that. So, like, I don't know why we haven't had an NFL game here yet, because I think the connections is there. Every time I'm in America, they're like, oh my God, you're from Ireland. Can I come home with you? Or, oh my God, that's so cool. I remember one girl in Vegas was like, can I come home with you in your suitcase to Ireland? And I was like, you don't want to go to Ireland. I don't know why.
Well,
I was just like, because I was in America and seeing all this like glitz and glamour, and I was like, Ireland is sometimes really boring. But I know obviously it is a beautiful country, so I do understand why they love us so much, and we love them. But yeah, a bowl game, we're going to be kind of the center, I think, for college football in Europe now, because we've obviously had the games. We're going to have Notre Dame, obviously famously known as the Fighting Irish, next year. So that's going to be amazing. So yeah, why not have a bowl game? Why not? I'm sure a lot of American people would love to come over for Christmas time and spend it in Ireland. So it's a great idea. The one thing I would say, the next time there's a college game, please put on a tailgate. That is one of the big cultural things about American football, is a tailgate. And there's definitely enough room around the Aviva, I think, to do it. So that's what I want to see more: a bowl game and a tailgate.
Oh, if you missed out on Tampa Bar, because there was definitely a tailgate going on there. I went the night before in his class, but you have me sold on the whole Christmas element. I wasn't really thinking of, if we had this every single year, it'd be like Christy Moore up on Vickers Street. Those tickets go on sale and they're gone in seconds, because it's one of those things that is so Christmassy that it has to be done. And I'm like, oh my God, yeah, who's the head of NFL or the college football game in Ireland? You're missing a trick here. Get the guys over. Imagine all the people coming over for their Christmas holidays.
Be mad crack. And stick around if you are listening to this, folks. Obviously, functionalists, stick around. You never know, your boy, whoever, might get some access to some Notre Dame tickets. I'll try and help everybody out here. We'll all try and help people out. Let's see what can happen over the next few weeks and months. Obviously, great to see the game growing here. And I think if we do want an NFL game, we have to, and not just we have to support it, but we should be supporting it anyway. But it's important to support it. So definitely stick around with that conversation. Right, last thing we're going to talk about before we get some sort of conversation around picks and stuff for this Christmas week, is the following. It is the big one. Which team is going to mess it up over the next few weeks in the playoff situations? I'm going to start off and just say this. 2 words. Tennessee Titans. The Titans are going to brick the bed the next 3 weeks of the season. The Jaguars are winning the AFC South. And, I mean, you got to feel for Vrabel. GM's gone. The question, I mean, if we started off this broadcast talking about Brandon Staley and his job security, and I know Vrabel's most likely say he's a great coach. I love his energy, but we have to have that same conversation in January if that happens. Mark, who do you think could be in trouble?
I think it's the Patriots right now. They're sitting in the 8th seed, and I think they had their opportunity and they missed it. They're obviously extremely run heavy. We've been through all the different narratives around Mac Jones. I just think they're, even though they have the tiebreaker over the Jets, who are still in play as well at the 9th, they're only 1 game back. But look at their schedule. They have the Bengals, the Dolphins, the Bills, and I did mention this at the top of the show, so I'm glad that we came back to it. I think the Patriots defense is so good that it's excellent that we get to see them against 3 playoff bound teams, the Bengals, the Dolphins, and the Bills, because I guess those teams are going to learn something about themselves playing against such a ferocious defense, number 1 DVOA, according to Football Outsiders. It's going to be great to see, and we're going to be able to comment on how these teams do, especially back to back to back. We'll be able to kind of compare as we kind of head into the playoffs. Maybe there's an upset there thanks to the defense, but I think that's where my excitement lies with the New England Patriots at the moment. I just want to see what problems they can cause other teams with the defense, but I think as in terms of how that offense is going, we saw they couldn't get across the line against the Raiders the other day. They almost pulled it out. That win would have been massive. We obviously know that play was one of the craziest we've seen all year when it was tossed back to Chandler Jones as the clock expired. But yeah, there you go for me. The Patriots, I think, are their race is run.
What do you reckon, Michaela?
Think the Jets probably at what are they sitting at 7-7, and then they're playing the Bengals, the Dolphins, and the Bills are going to lose all them games. So they're going to.
So you have them losing out?
Yeah, 100%.
Those
They're not
two teams have the same. The Jets and Patriots both have the Bengals, Dolphins, and Bills. I know how the schedule is set up so that you're playing the AFC East, but that's kind of crazy because they could have had the same schedule to kind of try and get in. It does look like then that we're agreeing that the AFC has been.
Oh, sorry. No, I was actually looking at the Patriots schedule. Sorry, the Jets have the Jags, the Seahawks, and the Dolphins, but they're still going to lose all them.
Oh.
Like maybe they can win against the Seahawks. They're definitely going to lose against the Jags. I take 100%. Jags are red hot right now. Trevor Lawrence is showing everyone why we all said he was a generational talent. Seahawks have kind of fallen out of the way a bit. We were all shocked that they started off the season so well, and now they've just proven what we all said in the beginning. And then they have the Dolphins. The Dolphins should. Well, Tua's kind of choking a little bit, so maybe, but I don't see the Jets making the playoffs. I think the defense is kind of holding them in it a little bit, but yeah, I think the Jets aren't going to make it.